Prince William has broken his silence, and what he's reportedly said has sent shockwaves through British politics. Sources close to the palace claim the future king is deeply concerned about Keir Starmer's new EU agreement. Behind closed doors, William is said to have warned that the voice of the British people is being ignored, and that as king, he won't remain silent if democracy is undermined. Starmer once promised to respect Brexit, but this quiet deal with Brussels looks like a major U-turn. Food regulations, youth migration schemes, and even shared military commitments are being reintroduced, all without clear public approval. Critics argue this hands power back to the very bloc Britain voted to leave. Nigel Farage has already slammed the deal, and Reform UK is gaining ground, especially in areas Labour once dominated. Even within Labour, MPs are reportedly uneasy about Starmer's secretive strategy. The pressure is rising fast. And now, with Prince William stepping into the conversation, the crisis feels bigger than party politics. The questions are clear. Has Starmer gone too far? And should the royal family speak out? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow for more updates.
Oh my days, you will not believe what just happened. Prince William has gone full-on royal rebel, and poor Keir Starmer, well, he's left blinking like a lost puppy in front of the nation. I mean, honestly, you could hear the collective "oh no" echoing through Downing Street from here to Edinburgh. But before we dive into the full story, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button now, because we're tracking every twist, every turn, every cast iron implication that most outlets are missing.
So when the journalist Kevin Schofield received a text from a Labour MP which said this evening, "We look like a chaotic, scruffy, angry, deluded, dangerous rabble. We hate success, hard work, intelligence and wealth. We like mediocrity."
Here's exactly what's unfolding. Hours ago, sources within Kensington Palace indicate that Prince William personally intervened in a highly unusual move during a live event where Starmer was addressing his new reform agenda.
Focus on what's happening today. There were no government spokespersons on the media this morning. I see the Health Secretary has made it to the chamber. And that's the point, Mr. Speaker. This virus isn't defeated. We're going to face other tests where the British people may be asked by their leaders to make further sacrifices for the greater good. Her Majesty the Queen sat alone when she marked the passing of the man she'd been married to for 73 years. Leadership, sacrifice, that's what gives leaders the moral authority to lead. Does the Prime Minister think he has the moral authority to lead and to ask the British people to stick to the...
What began as a seemingly routine appearance by the future king turned into a public showdown, an irreverent gesture of defiance, leaving Downing Street scrambling and allies stunned. This week, Starmer's Labour government rolled out fresh plans on constitutional amendments, promising to modernise the monarchy by shifting oversight of royal appointments into parliamentary hands and reducing the sovereign grant, proposals pitched as transparency and reform. But palace insiders hear it very differently, as an existential attack on the independent role of the Crown, and according to those insiders, William has had enough. Yesterday afternoon, at a charity gala in central London where he was expected to appear alongside ministers, the Prince of Wales reportedly stood up, turned his back and walked away from the stage just as the Prime Minister finished a key line about monarchy reform.
Let me turn now to the three deals this government has struck. The principles we took into the negotiations are clear and simple. Does it drive down bills? Does it drive up jobs? Does it strengthen our borders? And in each case, the answer is resoundingly yes. These deals release us from the tired arguments of the past and, as an independent sovereign nation, allow us to seize the opportunities of the future. A clear message sent across the globe that Britain is back on the world stage. Mr. Speaker, a trade deal with the world's fastest growing economy, India, cutting tariffs for British industries, a huge boost for our whisky and gin distilleries. Their only concern now, Mr. Speaker, is whether they can produce enough to sell. And for our car manufacturers, tariffs slashed from over 100% to just 10%, with no concessions on visas. a trade deal with the world's richest economy, the United States, slashing tariffs, saving thousands upon thousands of jobs in car manufacturing in places like JLR, protecting our steel and aluminium exports and safeguarding interests for our hugely important pharmaceutical sector. But, Mr. Speaker, I can already see that when it comes to this hat-trick of deals, it's our new partnership with the EU that they most want to talk about. And, Mr. Speaker, and given their abject failure to strike a deal with India or the US, I can't say I blame.
No cameras catching the cleavage of his departure. No formal announcement, just a silent statement. The room froze. The newest generation of royals isn't supposed to do this. They're supposed to nod, shake hands and keep politics at arm's length. Not now. Palace aides say that William, speaking to senior advisers, described the government's move as symbolically turning the monarchy into an appendix of Parliament, an institution designed to fly on diplomatic missions, host heads of state and serve as the unifying face of Britain. By refusing to stay for the rest of the gala, he signalled a no-return threshold. Inside Westminster, the chaos spread fast. Cabinet ministers were caught off guard. One was overheard in the lobby demanding, "Why did we get no heads up?" Meanwhile, backbench Labour MPs began exchanging frantic WhatsApp messages. Is this the end of the monarchy's neutrality? What do we do now? Starmer's inner circle says they are concerned but planning to hold firm. Opposition figures immediately sensed blood. The Conservative Party's leader leapt into action, declaring total support for the Crown and promising a reversal if his party returns to power, seizing the moment to rally traditionalists and royal supporters alike. Let's zoom in on the emotional centre of this story. Ordinary citizens watching elites scramble. On one side, veterans, small business owners, hospital workers, people whose approval of the monarchy remains in the 70s and 80s. On the other side, ministers and bureaucrats arguing budgets, oversight and modernisation. For them, it's policy. For him, it's heritage, a duty, a legacy under threat.
True democracy is citizen-led. Politics needs an update. We demand a people's house! We demand a people's house! We are in crisis! We are in crisis! Our whole future is deafening!
The face-off isn't just Westminster versus Windsor, it's heart versus machine. The political fallout is already gathering momentum. In the polls released overnight, a clear surge in public support for the royals is emerging. One internal survey shows 65% of respondents backing William's right to speak out, only 15% siding with the government's reform push. Among Labour voting households, the number backing the reforms dropped sharply. Momentum is shifting. Starmer's team is reportedly worried any royal backlash could wipe out years of policy gains. And internationally, the ripple effects are profound. Across the Commonwealth, where the British monarch remains symbolic head of state in 15 countries, diplomats are quietly registering alarm. One senior Commonwealth leader is quoted describing the British government's actions as a destabilising signal to other realms considering monarchy reform. Meanwhile, overseas media is picking up on the moment. One headline calls Britain the nation where the king fought the Prime Minister, and neither blinked. Soft power is on the line. Up next, the climactic collapse scenario. If the government refuses to bend and the palace doubles down, two outcomes loom. First, a full-scale constitutional crisis. If William publicly refuses to engage with state functions, or if other working royals follow suit, the entire royal machinery of Britain, state visits, honours, ceremonial functions, could grind to a halt. The second, a ticking time bomb for the monarchy. Should William cross the threshold into political activism, he risks severing the sacred neutrality that has underpinned the institution for generations, and that could erode public trust faster than any reform campaign. In short, whichever side moves first, they lose. The delicate balance collapses. And here we are, the future of Britain's monarchy and democracy in collision. Will Starmer's government press ahead, believing reform is overdue, even if it means battling the palace? Or will it pivot, retreat and face accusations of caving in to unelected privilege? Meanwhile, William has made his decision. He's no longer staying silent. He's stepping into the ring. What happens next will determine not just his future as king, but the shape of the British state for decades. So, what do you think? Was Prince William right to break with tradition and challenge the government like this? Should Starmer hold ground and risk a meltdown in support, or is this crisis a chance for Britain to finally decide what monarchy means in a 21st century democracy? Drop your thoughts below, share this video with anyone who needs to understand what's really at stake, and if you haven't already, subscribe for full coverage of every move in this unfolding drama.